Chapter 14. No more names, I say. Addie goes, what? That's our platform, and that's our party, I explain, getting excited. The no-name party. Ideas are rushing at me like water out of an open hydrant. The skis, wiping chocolate off his mouth with the back of his hand, says, what are you talking about? The lame brain party? I don't get it. That's because you're the lame brain, I tell him. No offense, Addie, but you've been looking at the wrong minority the whole time. Deshaun even said it. Said what? Joe chimes in. He said we were the ones who had to watch our butts, not him and Royale and Tondayala Charisse. Right, I go. And Joe, you said not every minority is visible, remember? Think about it, Addie. What makes a minority? It's numbers, right? The majority is the larger percentage, the minority the smaller. Wyman would be proud of you, man, says the skis, ridding his fingers of unwanted chocolate crumbs by dragging them down the front of his shirt. I swear, his eating is some kind of performance art. He should charge admission. Whatever, I say. The point is that being a minority isn't only about the color of your skin or your religion. It's about not fitting in, being on the outside. Like us, Addie goes. And Daryl, who Kevin just called a dweeb, I point out. Think of all the names we've been called over the years. I grab a pen out of my back pocket and start writing down all the names I can think of on a napkin. There are 18, and then 17 when I realize I've written fluff twice. Wow, Joe says, that's almost as many as me. He starts rattling off his list, and I'm writing so fast the napkin begins to shred. He's got 26 by the time he's through, and those are only the ones he can think of off the top of his pink-streaked head. What about you, Skis? I ask. What names have you been called? Skeezy starts rocking back in his chair, his hands clasped behind his head. Whop, he starts with greaser, greaseball, slimeball, guinea. His list ends up at 16, 4 of which are put-downs of Italians, which doesn't even make sense because Skeezy doesn't have an ounce of Italian blood in him. It's Addie's turn, and now we're all into it, weirdly competing with each other for who's been called the most and the worst names. There are some we've all been called. Addie comes up with only 11, 3 of which have to do with her height, 5 of which with her brains, and 3 what we call all-purpose. Our final tally covers 3 napkins. This is what we've got. Bobby. Fat boy, fatso, fatty, blubber, pork chop, doughboy, dweeb, nerd, spaz, lardo, lardass, lard bar, fluff, roly-poly, dork, geek, loser. Joe. Faggot, fag, gay, fairy, queer, girl, sissy, wimp, wuss, pervert, freak, mutant, homo, dweeb, dork, nerd, geek, tinkerbell, twinkletoes, tinky winky, Joanna, Josephine, Jojo, Jody, Joannice, Joannie, loser. Skeezy, wop, greaser, greaseball, slimeball, guinea, dummy, geek, schizo, hooligan, JD, freak, retard, dweeb, scuzz, dork, loser. Addie, beanpole, skyscraper, big mouth, show-off, know-it-all, brains, Einstein, dweeb, nerdette, Godzilla, loser. Skeezy whistles. Impressive, man. Are we awesome or what? We high-five it around the table, acting like this is a big joke, but we all know it isn't. Then another idea comes to me. I grab a clean napkin and write dweeb. Then I draw a big circle around it and a slash through it, so it ends up looking like this. Here's what we gotta do, I go on. We take all these words and we write each one on its own sheet of paper. Then we put a circle around it and a line through it, and then we put them up all over the school. And what do we say about the no-name party? Addie asks. I can't believe I have an answer for this. It's all coming to me without my even having to think about it. We don't say anything, I go. Not at first. That's the beauty of it, see? Miss Wyman won't even know there's another party in the running. Nobody will know. We'll keep the suspense going for a couple of days, and then we'll hit the walls with posters for the no-name party. How are they going to stop us then? Addie is practically jumping up and down, she's so excited. She looks dangerously close to hugging me. It's brilliant, Bobby, she says. There's a name for this, Joe gives. Teaser advertising, I think it is. I love it. It's so subverted. Subversive, says Addie. Show off, goes Joe. Twinkle toes, Addie goes right back at him. They both laugh, and Skeesy says to me, I think you should run for president, man. Yeah, Bobby, Addie joins in. This is your idea. No way, I tell them. I'm not getting up in front of the whole school and giving a speech. I'm a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, okay? They can see I mean it, so they let it go. Then the Skis asks, but how are we going to convince Dushan to go along with this? Are you kidding? Addie says. He's probably got a longer list of names than any of us. We all nod, because what do we know? And Addie says she'll talk to him right after lunch. Meanwhile, I'm having the biggest brainstorm yet. Wait a minute, you guys. We have to have a slogan, right? What do you think of this? Sticks and stones may break our bones, but names will break our spirit. I'm looking at them now, waiting for them to laugh. I don't know why. And they're looking at me like that's what they expected too, that I'd come up with something funny. But what I've come up with is something other than funny, something even better than funny. What I've come up with is the truth.